Most health and wellness professionals who struggle getting clients assume the marketing tactic they're using doesn't work, and they're often tempted to jump to another guru's proven system to see if that one will work better. But the problem usually isn't marketing tactics. Tactics are just what's happening on the surface. The problem is almost always something deeper, and that's they haven't figured out how to make their offer stand out from every other coach focusing on the same audience. That's a positioning problem, and you can't fix a positioning problem with better tactics. That's like filling a car with premium gas and expecting it to drive better when the problem is really a flat tire. Well, in this video, I'm going to show you how to fix this problem and make just about any marketing tactic you use work better. I like to call it adding some pixie dust to your marketing. And while that might sound a little whimsical, this concept has helped many of my clients charge premium prices and become the go-to expert in very crowded niches. So if you want to find out what they did to help people see them as the obvious choice, stick around because that's what I'm going to tell you about in this video. I'm Nicole Piper. I spent 29 years building global brands like MTV, Nickelodeon, and Pokemon. And since 2018, I've been helping health and wellness professionals build profitable online businesses. I've worked with over 1,000 of them. And Pixie Dust is one of the most important things I teach. So here's how it works. When you add pixie dust to your marketing, you sound different from everyone else. You stop having to convince people because what you're saying changes their perspective and it makes them lean in and get excited about how you can help them. When you sound like everyone else, even proven marketing tactics can fall flat. You could have the perfect funnel, the perfect ad copy, the perfect webinar, and still end up with not enough clients. Now, your pixie dust has two components, and you need them both. Miss either one, and you're just another coach in a crowded market. So the first one is your offer, what you're actually selling. Your offer needs to solve a problem in a way that people can't find anywhere else. It's not just about picking a niche or choosing a topic. It's about building something into your offer that fills a gap no one else is filling. The second thing is your messaging, and this is where the real magic happens. Your messaging is how you help people see their problem in a completely new way. It's what creates those aha moments that make people want to hear more. When your messaging is really dialed in, it does 5 powerful things. First, it helps people understand the real reason they have their problem. Second, it releases them from any guilt they might feel about having it. Third, it explains why the other things they've tried haven't worked. Fourth, it gives them hope that this time it's going to be different. And fifth, it positions you as the obvious person to help them. Pretty powerful, right? So how do you actually find your pixie dust? Well, it comes from something you already have. It's in your depth of knowledge about the problem you help people solve. See, most health and wellness professionals know a lot more about their clients' problems than their clients do. You understand the underlying causes. You know why certain approaches don't work. You've seen the patterns. You've had those moments where you discovered something that completely changed how you think about the problem. The thing is, most of that knowledge stays locked up in your head. You use it when you're working with clients, but it never makes it into your marketing. And that's a huge missed opportunity because buried in what you already know is something that would blow your audience's mind if you told them. I'm talking about an insight, some kind of new variable that changes how people understand their problem. Something that makes them go, I've never thought about it that way before. This is the heart of your pixie dust. Let me show you what I mean with a real example. I worked with a coach once named Jackie who helped people with anxiety. She already understood the gut-brain connection, and part of what she did was help people with their diet because she knew certain foods could trigger anxiety and others can calm it. When we looked at her audience, we saw people trying everything. They tried therapy, medication, meditation, yoga, breathing exercises, and these are more like short-term coping mechanisms. Nothing was working long-term. And in comments on health and wellness posts and Facebook groups, people were saying things like, I've been in therapy for years, but I'm still dealing with anxiety, and I've tried everything, nothing helps. Now, Jackie already knew something most of these people didn't know. She knew that anxiety isn't always just a mental health issue. There's a gut component that most people, and even a lot of practitioners, completely overlook. But she wasn't saying that in her marketing. She was positioning herself as an anxiety coach, which made her sound like a lot of other coaches out there. So we made her gut-brain insight the centerpiece of her messaging, and that became her new variable. So instead of positioning herself as just another anxiety coach, she introduced a completely new way of understanding the problem, that anxiety isn't just in your head, it's also in your gut. And when your gut microbiome is out of balance, it produces chemicals that directly affect your mood and anxiety levels. That's why therapy and meditation alone and all those other things haven't worked long term. They're treating the symptom, not the root cause. Now look at what that does. It helps people understand the real reason they have anxiety. It releases them from guilt because they realize it's not their fault and it's not all in their head. It explains why other solutions haven't worked. And it gives them hope because Jackie's going to help them fix the thing that's actually causing the problem in the first place. She took something that millions of people struggle with and gave them a completely new way to understand it. Now she's not just another anxiety coach. She's the coach who helps people get rid of anxiety by addressing the root cause in their gut. That's the messaging piece. Now let's look at the offer piece. So Jackie's offer isn't just anxiety coaching or gut health coaching. It's the Gut Anxiety Reset, a program designed specifically for people struggling with anxiety who want to address the root cause. She's not competing with every other anxiety coach or every other gut health coach out there. She's in a category of one. And because she's got something no one else is offering, she can charge $3,000 or $4,000 or more. While coaches without this kind of positioning are stuck competing at the $100 an hour level. That's the power of Pixie Dust. And here's what I want you to take away from Jackie's story. She didn't go out there and learn something new. She didn't invent something. The gut-brain connection was something she already knew. She just wasn't using it in her marketing. And that's the case for most of the health and wellness professionals I've worked with. Your Pixie Dust is usually something you already know. It's an insight, some kind of a connection or deep understanding of the problem that your audience hasn't heard before. The trick is figuring out which piece of what you know is the one that will make the biggest impact, the one that makes people stop and think, wait, I've never heard anyone explain it that way before. When you find that, your marketing gets easier because you actually have something different to say. People start reaching out to you instead of the other way around. And you stop feeling like you have to compete with everyone else because you're not saying what everyone else is saying. All right, let's pull this all together. If you want to give yourself a real advantage over the competition, you've got to find your Pixie Dust. The combination of an offer that solves the problem in a way nobody else does and messaging built around a new variable that changes how people see their problem. And the place to start looking for that is in what you already know. Now, finding your Pixie Dust is one of the key steps in something I call the trust-based marketing method. It's a 3-step process I developed specifically for health and wellness professionals. And step 1 is validating your offer. You want to make sure the problem you want to focus on has real demand before you invest time and money building everything out. The second step is differentiating with Pixie Dust, which is what we talked about today. It's where you uncover the insight that sets you apart and makes people see you as the obvious choice. And step 3 is choosing the right marketing path, the one that fits your budget, your timeline, and how you actually want to run your business. I wrote a mini book that walks you through the whole process. It's called the Trust-Based Marketing Method, and there's a link to it in the description. So that's what I've got for you today. If this helped you see your business a little differently, give it a like and subscribe to my channel. I share marketing strategies specifically for health and wellness professionals who want to build a profitable business online. All right, thanks for watching. I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.